Still should, if excuse me, at the bottom of the screen where you see us, where it says security, participants, chat, you should still have those same options.
Oh, there it is. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. I turned down your speaker just because when I check everybody in, it reverberates. Oh, sure. So I want to turn it back up and then I'll mute myself. And then did you go live on YouTube? Yes, you did. All right.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Just give a signal if you can. We're having some speaker. Okay, great. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Probate Courtroom 201. We're beginning our third week of proceedings by Zoom. And although we don't have it perfectly yet, we're getting better, a little bit better every day. So just a couple ground rules. We're still in a court process, so please continue to present yourself in a manner that's appropriate to a courtroom. If you haven't yet renamed yourself, please take an opportunity to do that on your screen. You can do that by hovering over in the top right-hand corner and renaming yourself so that the clerk can keep her minutes of who is present and I can know who we're talking to when your case is called. Please stay muted until your case is called. At that time, I'll ask you to unmute yourself so that we can communicate with each other. As Raven just indicated, please keep your eye on that chat bubble at the bottom center of your screen. She may need to communicate with you, which she can do privately by chatting with you during the court proceeding. At the conclusion of the hearing, I'm going to ask that you leave the virtual courtroom. If you're interested to see what continues to go on in the courtroom, we are live on YouTube. So you can watch it by that method, but it makes it easier for us to administer the court call if we have a reduced number of people in the virtual courtroom. At the conclusion of today's hearing, if you're going to be submitting a court order, you're going to do that to cc201@lakecountyil.gov. And for today's proceedings, you're going to send those to the attention of Raven, R-A-V-E-N. That's just for this court call. I'm going to give it to you one more time. cc201@lakecountyil.gov. I'm also going to make an appeal to you to please take a look at our administrative orders, especially AO 2021, which deals with opening and closing estates remotely, AO 2028, which deals with administration of other uncontested agreed matters that do not require a court appearance, and AO 2030, which addresses all civil matters here in Lake County and includes probate matters. If there's ever been a time to be reasonable and cooperative with your opposing counsel or opposing party, this is it. Please contact each other in advance of hearing dates to enter agreed orders in regard to briefing schedules or continuance dates or those types of matters so that we can keep these virtual hearings at a minimum. We're doing our best. Please continue to be patient, have a little sense of humor, and be kind to each other as we navigate through. Thank you very much for your attention, and we'll start calling cases. The estate of Genevieve Rebar, 15P523.
Good morning, Judge Gretchen Nedenrip on behalf of one of the heirs, Connie Goodwin.
You said to call Schultz, right? That one's not a lot of parties to it, so. All right, nobody's answering now. So I'm going to call the estate of Zachary Schultz, 19P935.
Your Honor, on the estate of Rebar, we're here.
Yeah, they are here. Gretchen and Mr. O'Brien and Jennifer Newbauer are here. Gretchen was talking, sorry.
All right, I'm not hearing anyone.
So they turned on your, hold on one
anything off. What do I do?
Move forward and right click
Uh,
on the little, no,
Friday.
the one next to the touch. And then move it all the way over.
Okay.
And then you can close that out.
All right, I'm sorry, I was having trouble with hearing, so,
Good morning, Your Honor. Gretchen Nedenrip on behalf of one of the heirs of this estate, Connie Goodwin.
Jennifer Neubauer on behalf of Shaw Law, which has a judgment against some of the legatees in this estate.
Morning, Your Honor. Tom O'Brien appearing for Gail Golan, the personal representative.
all right, good morning, everyone.
Morning,
And
Your Honor.
today we were continued for status of the final accounting and fee petitions. And what are we doing today?
If I might, Your Honor, we retain an accountant because no tax returns have been filed for the estate since 2015, since the first year the estate was open. My accountant is next door, Mr. Dahl. He has tried valiantly to get information from the IRS so that he could do what amounts to a series of 5 tax returns that are necessary to close the estate. He says the IRS is closed for all practical non-emergency purposes, and it'd be about 60 days before we can have all the tax returns done and be prepared to close. I would suggest perhaps Ms. Nedenrip and I can agree on a partial distribution. One of the heirs did call me and is experiencing some financial hardship, a very minor, I think a 5% error, but that's the best I've been able to do given the COVID situation.
Ms. Nedrip, or does anyone else want to say anything, or?
I don't have any issues if there's a partial distribution. I know who Mr. O'Brien is speaking about. She is only a 5% error. So as long as we do enough of a holdback for tax purposes and for the rest of the distributions that need to be made, I'm okay with that. But I'd like to hopefully get this wrapped up soon. I certainly understand the situation going on with the IRS. So if Mr. O'Brien is asking for a 60-day date on that.
Your Honor, we have no objection to the 60-day date either. And the holdback should, of course, include the approximately $13,000 that's remaining on the debt.
Okay, so I'm going to continue it to August 17th at 9:00 a.m. Hopefully for closing, but in the interim, if there's an agreement reached in regard to the distribution, that can be submitted to CC 201 as an agreed order, and then I can review it and enter that in the interim without the necessity of a court appearance unless there's some issue that's raised. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Then who's gonna prepare the order today?
My office.
Okay, so Mr. O'Brien, you're gonna send that into the attention of Raven, R-A-V-E-N, today. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Thank
And
you.
the estate of Zachary Schultz, 19P935.
Good morning, Your Honor. Paul Franciscowitz on behalf of the respondent, Zach Schultz, who is present on the call.
Good
Gary
morning.
Good morning. Gary Cantor on behalf of the petitioner, Chuck Schultz, who is present on the call.
Mackenzie Hyde on behalf of Hilda Contreras Schultz, who is present on the call, along with my colleague Eric Dorkin, also present.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Judge Kathleen Georgievich. I'm the guardian ad litem.
Okay.
And we were here last week where you ruled on the appointment of an independent medical exam. And the parties did discuss over the past week via email. Respondent's attorney submitted 3 names. One of the parents said that they would prefer to have an expert in autism, which the respondent has been diagnosed with, as the independent medical examiner. My understanding is that parent called a proposed expert simply to discuss availability, but that does raise concern about the independence of that expert, who is a PhD, not an MD. So the parties have not been able to come to an agreement on a doctor.
Okay, so are you suggesting that additional opportunity is necessary or that they've reached an impasse in determining?
I think
I
we
think
reached,
there's an impasse.
We have reached an impasse, Your Honor. I have a suggestion to make the other side. We have a disagreement as to the law, but maybe we can avoid that. They seem to insist that an MD is required. We don't think that that's what the probate statute requires, but I'm willing to go that route. But we have two conditions. It has to be then, if it's an MD, a licensed psychiatrist who specializes in adult autism, and it has to be someone who's had no relationship with any of the attorneys or anyone involved, because we can't risk what happened last time with the first doctor's report where there was absolutely zero independence. So if they can go with that condition, then I suggest we'll try to find someone. We'll get the name, if it's okay, to Kathleen, and she can talk to them and see if they're available. I haven't talked to opposing counsel about that. I'm throwing it out for the first time.
well, that would be, actually, Judge, that would be fine. But I would say that the first doctor who did an evaluation is his treating physician. So of course that doctor is going to have contact with Zach prior to doing the evaluation. So there's nothing untoward about his treating doctor filling out that report. But we certainly would have no objection to having a psychiatrist do the evaluation and one who is also specializes in autism. No objection.
Okay, so I'm trying to clarify exactly where that leaves us. Mr. Cantor, you are going to make.
We will find a psychiatrist, a licensed MD who specializes in autism. We'll give the name to Kathleen to see if she can contact that doctor to see if they're available. And they can do the same.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then that name would be tendered to the other side for.
Yeah, consideration, but we'll again attempt to find someone that we've never had any contact with before, which is what we did.
Okay, does anyone else?
If the GAL can do, I mean, the Probate Act provides that the court can appoint an independent medical expert, the GAL can request it. So to the extent that the GAL is the one that is fully capable of doing an investigation and identifying a psychiatrist that, fits the bill for this case, I think that makes the most sense.
That's fine too, Your Honor, as long as it's an attorney, someone who has never dealt with any of these.
Correct. So she would tell us the names and say, I have identified this physician. Have any of you worked with him or her? And then we would say yes or no. And then she could be the one that works with Zach to coordinate the visit, which we want Zach has asthma. And so we think it's important that the evaluation be conducted over Zoom. He's been doing all of his evaluations by telehealth. And so for this purpose, it makes sense to continue to allow him to have his doctor's visits and evaluations over Zoom.
Yeah, we do not consent to that at all, Your Honor.
Okay,
the doctor will tell us how to do it.
Wait, everybody.
That's way premature.
Those are going to be issues that the physician is going to determine what is appropriate in terms of that examination. Exactly. And so we're not even going there right now. The first step is to just determine who the physician would be. So, Ms. Georgievich, it's being batted back into your court to a certain extent. And so are you willing to take on that role of investigator in terms of identifying and then coordinating to find out that whether or not it's a physician who has not had contact with any of these parties or attorneys previously, and then to make a recommendation to the court?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So we're going to need a little more time to do that. Reasonably, what do you think would be appropriate, keeping in mind that we'd like to...
2 weeks, Judge? 2 weeks maybe, Judge?
I'm sorry?
2 weeks, Your Honor?
2 weeks?
Whatever's reasonable to Kathleen. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever.
I think 14 days is reasonable, Judge. I had already started reaching out to some of the respondent, Zach's current providers, to see if they had names or suggestions for specialization. So I've made a few inroads.
Okay, so that would be June 29th, Monday or Tuesday the 30th.
I'm fine with Monday.
Okay. Monday's fine.
Monday's fine, Your Honor.
Who's going to be responsible to prepare the order today?
I will, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Georgievich, you're going to submit it to Raven today before 3 p.m.?
Yes.
All right. Nice to see everyone. Thank you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully.
Thank
we'll
you, Your
make
Honor.
progress.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Estate of Frutoso Salgado Diaz, 20P193.
Hold on 1 second, Judge. I asked for the.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ruben Garcia on behalf of petitioner.
I asked for an interpreter to come in at 9 a.m. and they did it.
Okay, so we're waiting for an interpreter. Someone needs the interpreter, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, the respondent.
So we're waiting for the interpreter to get on the call, and we're going to pass it for a minute, okay?
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Estate of Ernestina Torres, 18P1110.
Morning, Your Honor. Dan Hood on behalf of the executors.
Good morning, Your Honor. Megan Kerr on behalf of the daughter.
Okay, so this was set this morning for request of an order of discharge. Is there an objection to the entry of the order of discharge?
There is. Unfortunately, we got notice quite late, as we explained in our emergency motion, to claim funeral expenses. I don't know that Mr. Hood has had any chance to review at all. Unfortunately, our client didn't provide documentation of funeral expenses until this weekend. So we're requesting funeral expenses as itemized in our emergency motion. Maybe Mr. Hood can address whether or not he's actually received it.
Yes, Your Honor, I have received it. It is past the 6-month claim period. But I mean, we can kick this out for a hearing 2 weeks later or whatever you want to do.
Okay, I have not seen the emergency motion, but I'll give you an opportunity to respond or have some communication in the interim to see if we can get this matter resolved. I will set it for hearing. How much opportunity do you need to respond?
2 weeks is fine.
June, I can set it for June 30th at 9:00 a.m.
That's fine with us. We appreciate that.
Okay, in the event that there is an agreement reached in advance of that, you can submit those documents by email for the court's consideration, and I could even consider the order of discharge. If it's going to be a hearing, obviously, if there's any pleadings I need to see in advance, please submit courtesy copies to the court in advance, okay?
All right.
And Mr. Hood, you're going to prepare the order today, setting it over?
Yes, I'll just continue everything over until June 30th.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Bob Pinzer.
Bob, we already handled.
Yes, I know. I just want to check with Your Honor. Do we need to send you a courtesy copy of the motion, or I wasn't able to because I just found out about it over the weekend?
So yes, especially if we're going to have a hearing, then I would need to see courtesy copies in advance, so I'm prepared.
Can we send it to your clerk by email or no?
Email is not really preferred for courtesy copies, okay, especially if they're of any significant substance. They're supposed to be sent by regular mail.
Okay, I will do that.
Oh, and I'm just being alerted that the clerk's office for probate is currently open, so they can be delivered to the clerk's office also. Every day it's a new thing we're learning. So.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
All right, estate of Linnea Viri, 2056. I may have mispronounced.
Yes, Your Honor. Dan Hood on behalf of the petitioner. One of the heirs has the will and said that they sent it to me. So we're waiting to receive that and to file that with the court. So if possible, we could kick this out to August 17th, I believe. You were available at that time.
Okay, so again, there's a possibility that you might be able to do this remotely pursuant to AO 2021. So take a look, but the only document that's currently in the court file is the petition, nothing else. So you're looking for, what did you say, August?
17th. I believe you said that earlier. You were available at that.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're going to prepare that order, Mr. Hood, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Estate of Abraham Sachs, 18P892.
Yes, Your Honor. Erica Bird on behalf of the executor. This was continued, I believe, for status. This estate had been reopened to deal with just a single account. I spoke with my client because of the stay-at-home orders. They've been unable to meet with the financial institution that holds that account, and they have not been able to actually probate the account yet. So we were hoping for anywhere from 90 to 120 days to come back and hopefully close this out.
Okay, so I'm going to set it for October 5th at 9:00 a.m. and 2:01. But again, I'm going to encourage you to take a look at our AO 2021 and 2028 in the event that it might be something that's addressed remotely as opposed to a court appearance.
Okay.
And you're going to prepare that order and send it to the attention of Raven before 3 p.m. today.
Will do. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Estate of Morris Steinberg, 16P524.
Good morning, Your Honor. Scott Anderson.
Good morning.
Your Honor, we're here for status, and our annual report was also due, and I apologize for the delay. We did file that on Friday afternoon. Do we need to deliver a courtesy copy?
Yeah, so just because it's filed, I don't get a copy of it. And I mean, it goes into the court file, but unless I'm examining the court file. But let's see, so you were filing an annual report.
And then we were here for status on some claims as well, and I can brief you on that as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so there are really two obstacles to closing this matter out. One is a claim by a woman named Lynn Nass, who has filed an action against the estate, the decedent's ex-business partner, and a essentially defunct corporation. That's pending down in LaSalle County right now. At this point, we've done nothing. We're trying to preserve estate resources. And so we've been watching this case. The business partner has been largely dealing with this claim, and he filed a motion to dismiss, which was successful the first time. Leave was granted to file an amended complaint. An amended complaint was filed back in December. The ex-business partner filed a motion to dismiss again in approximately February, and then of course COVID hit. The next status on the LaSalle County matter, where I expect a briefing schedule to be entered, will be next week. So that's NAS. And then the second part of this is an asset of the estate, which is approximately 17% interest in an LLC. Originally, this interest in the LLC, they owned a nursing home downstate, and they sold that interest and are pursuing a 1031 exchange. We've requested information related to the 1031 exchange because we need to value this asset for purposes of figuring out what to do next. We have not yet received all of the information we need. If we need to get your help, we may come back in and see you before then. Our suggestion and request, Your Honor, is if we could continue this matter to August 6th, if that's available. Hopefully we'll have some answers on NAS, and hopefully we'll have this 1031, or we'll be seeing you on a motion in the interim.
Okay, August 6th is available. You're going to prepare that order and submit it to Raven's attention today before 3 p.m.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see you then, hopefully with some good progress.
All right, thanks, Your Honor. Take care. Bye-bye.
State of Michael Benson, 19P91.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jack Mardoin is independent administrator.
Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. Morning, Your Honor. Sean Staples on behalf of Bonnie Benson.
Okay, good morning. And today was for status of settlement.
Correct, Your Honor.
What's the good word?
The good word is the parties, from what I've been advised, are attempting to go to mediation, and they have a June 23rd date for a mediation conference. I had circulated a proposed agreed order to all the other counsel of record. Mr. Van Orsdale, who's also on this file, did sign initial back and get back to me this morning on that. My understanding is the parties are looking for July 16th date to either advise the court that the mediation was successful or that it was not successful and what the next steps would be in the process.
And you agree?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so July 16th, 9:00 a.m. Mr. Mardoin, you've already prepared an order? Is that right?
Yes, I have, Your Honor. I can have it over to you within the half hour.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Estate of Floyd Ehlers, 19P894.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Jack Rickman on behalf of the estate. This comes before you for status of claim. The claim is Northside Bank. They have a mortgage against commercial property, and the property is currently under contract for sale. This is the exact same report I've given you a couple other times, because the contract keeps getting continued because there's some kind of, I think it might be literally a junkyard next door to this place that's contaminated the soil. So there's soil issues. Both the buyer and seller want to go ahead with the contract. It's a matter of financing that the lender has some hesitation. So they're doing a phase 2, if you know what that is.
No.
So anyway, I spoke to the attorney for the claimant, Mr. Bond. Rather than proceed on any kind of prove up or anything, we'd just like to kick this for 90 days in hopes that the sale closes, Northside gets paid, and the claim evaporates, if that's acceptable to Your Honor.
It is. I'm hoping that, yeah, we'll be at a conclusion by then. Did you have a date in mind, Mr. Rickman?
September 15th.
Looks good to me.
Okay, I'll send an order. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. State of Peconiac.
Cognac, Judge.
Mr. McCure, how are you?
Doing well, Your Honor. Nice to see you.
You too.
Judge, I don't have a formal appearance on file. I appeared back, I think it was February, on behalf of the Peconiac family. I was contacted by them this weekend. They were asking for some more time to hire an attorney. They actually had Perry Smith in mind, and as the court probably knows, he recently had some medical issues. And I think they're still hoping to retain him, but I would ask if I could enter an order continuing for status of attorney.
How much time do you need, or do you think they need?
I'm guessing 2 months if it pleases the court.
Sure. August 17th at 9:00 a.m. And if you could prepare that order, Mr. McCure, and send it to the email cc201@lakecountyil.gov to the attention of Raven, R-A-V-E-N, today.
I will have it to her within the hour.
Thank you very much.
Judge, if I may, I have a matter before you on the 17th, and the system's showing it at 10:30 a.m. Is that correct, or is it?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you talk to Raven directly, and then you can figure that out. And then if you need to talk to me, you can come back in. So, she's going to chat with you, I think. Is that what you're going to do? She's going to chat, watch your chat bubble in the bottom center of your screen. She's going to chat with you. And then if you need to talk to me again, I'll recall it.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, recalling Frutoso Salgado Diaz.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ruben Garcia.
Buenos días, señora Rubén García.
Good morning.
Buenos días.
So let's see here.
Vamos a ver aquí.
This is a petition
Esta es una petición
appointment of guardian,
para asignar un guardián.
disabled person. The petitioners
Los peticionarios
are the respondents'
son
wife
los acusados
and
o esposa
Correct.
y hija. Correcto.
And we have consents from the other adult children, which we have
Yes.
filed.
Y tenemos los consentimientos de los otros adultos, hijos adultos, que ya presentamos.
Thank you.
Gracias.
I can see the consents are in
Puedo ver los
file,
consentimientos presentados
and also that the respondent has been served.
y también que el demandado ha sido, se le entregaron los documentos.
Yes,
I
Your Honor.
don't see a
Sí,
doctor's
señoría.
report.
¿No veo un reporte de los doctores?
We submitted it on Thursday, Your Honor.
Lo pasamos el jueves pasado,
We haven't
señoría.
gotten the confirmation back, but it
No
was
hemos recibido la
an email that
confirmación
we sent
todavía,
to the clerk.
pero fue se mandó un correo electrónico a través de la secretaria.
Okay. I'm going to have the clerk look into that.
Voy a hacer que la secretaria mire eso.
We have Mr. Diaz in court today, is that right?
Tenemos al señor Díaz en la corte hoy, ¿es correcto?
Looks like we just lost him. I'm sure they'll sign back on. They've been on all morning.
Your Honor, may I get the case number, please?
Of course you can.
Thank you, Your Honor.
20P193. And do you need the case name?
It's Salgado Diaz, right?
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I apologize, Your Honor. They've been on all day. I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
It's no one, you don't need to apologize. It's just, we had to have our interpreter and she's under great demand and
Sure.
they'll be back. And I hope we can continue to impose on you for a few more minutes. Yeah. In the meantime, the doctor's report has now been tendered to me, so I'm going to take a look at that while we're waiting.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. It came in two forms at the same time. We got the physical and the printed, so that's how things go. We've got it. That's the important thing.
Yes, great. Thank you.
Yeah, if they got a phone call, it would have kicked them out of there. I think they were on cell phone.
Yeah, I apologize, Your Honor. It seems they're having technical difficulties. It says that it's just trying to load.
Okay. No problem. Okay, welcome back.
Bienvenidos de nuevo.
Unmute, Jeannie.
Quítele el silenciador, Ginny, por favor.
I'm going to ask you
Voy a
to
pedirle.
unmute. Thank you.
Gracias.
And I would like to introduce myself to
Quisiera presentarme
Mr. Salgado Diaz.
al señor Salgado Díaz.
I want to make sure that you understand what we're doing today.
Quiero asegurarme que usted entiende lo que estamos haciendo hoy, el día de hoy.
Your wife and daughter
Su esposa y su hija
have filed a petition
han presentado una
asking
petición
to be your guardians
pidiendo ser sus guardianes
and to make decisions for you
y a tomar decisiones por
in
usted
regard to your person,
en relación con su persona,
medical decisions,
las decisiones médicas,
residential decisions,
decisiones de su residencia
and also financial decisions.
y también decisiones financieras.
Do you understand that, sir?
¿Usted entiende eso, señor?
Okay. You're indicating with your hand.
Indicando con su mano.
And you have a right to have, if you disagree with it, you have a right to have a trial before the judge, before me.
Si usted está en desacuerdo con eso, usted tiene derecho a tener un juicio en frente mío
To make a determination of whether or not that those guardians should
para
be.
tomar una determinación de si esos guardianes podrían ser o no.
Do you understand that?
¿Usted entiende eso?
Okay. It appears to
bien.
me that you are saying yes with your hand.
Me parece que usted está diciendo que sí con su mano, ¿verdad?
And yes, and that you are
Sí.
not objecting to this appointment of them as your guardians. Is that correct?
Y que usted no está en desacuerdo en que ellas sean sus guardianes. ¿Eso es correcto?
You're not objecting.
No lo está objetando.
All right, so I've had an opportunity to review the verified petition of both Mercedes and Jeannie Salgado, the wife and daughter.
Tuve la oportunidad de revisar toda la petición de Mercedes y Jenny Salgado, su esposa y su hija,
Requesting that Mr. Salgado Diaz be adjudicated as disabled
de que, alegando de que pedimos de que el señor Salgado Díaz sea nominado, sea adjudicado como inhabilitado
and for appointment as his guardian
y para que sean ellas nombradas sus guardianes
of both person and estate.
para las dos cosas, como persona y en frente al Estado también.
The court having heard the evidence and reviewed the file,
La Corte ha revisado la petición y ha revisado el archivo, el expediente.
the court finds as follows.
La Corte encuentra lo siguiente,
That the petitioners are present
que los peticionarios están presentes
based on their verified petition.
basado en su verificación, su petición verificada.
They are both over 18 years old,
Ambas tienen más de 18 años,
residents of the United States,
son residentes de los Estados Unidos,
of sound mind,
están bien mentalmente
and not having been convicted of a felony.
y no han sido convictas de un delito mayor.
Is that correct, Mercedes and Jeannie?
¿Eso es correcto, Mercedes y Ginny?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Gracias.
The respondent having been present in court,
El respondiente está presente en la corte vía Zoom
and I've had an opportunity to communicate with you, sir, and to observe you.
y he tenido la oportunidad de comunicarme con usted, señor, y de observarlo.
You also have been served with the summons by the sheriff.
A usted se le ha entregado también a través de la policía los resúmenes de todo
And all of your nearest relatives have been given notice.
y a todos sus familiares cercanos se le ha entregado una notificación
And all of them have consented to this appointment.
y todos han estado de acuerdo.
I'm going to make a finding that the appointment of a guardian ad litem is not necessary for the protection of
Estoy,
the respondent.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
A lot. I'll do it again.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to make a finding
Voy a hacer un hallazgo, una presentación,
that the appointment of a guardian ad litem
que el hecho de poner una persona, un guardián para usted, un abogado guardián,
is not necessary
no es necesario
for the protection
para la protección
of Frutoso,
can you say one more time, Your Honor?
for the protection of Frutoso. Maybe I'm
Ajá,
saying
por de
the name wrong.
persona, ya.
Yes.
Que no es necesario para la protección de la persona. No hay necesidad de poner un abogado para que sea su guardián.
I've also had an opportunity
También
to
he tenido la
review
oportunidad de revisar
the doctor's report.
el reporte del doctor.
So based on the totality of the evidence,
Basado en la totalidad de la evidencia,
including
incluyendo
the petitioner's petition,
la petición de los peticionarios,
my in-court observation,
mi observación en la corte
and communication with the respondent,
y la comunicación con los respondientes
and the doctor's report,
y en los reportes de los doctores,
I find that it's been established
encuentro que ha sido establecido
by clear and convincing evidence
por evidencia clara y convincente
that the respondent is a disabled person
que el respondiente es una persona que no está habilitada
according to the definition
de acuerdo con la definición
of the Probate Act.
que sea del acto.
The appointment of Mercedes and Jeannie
La indicación o la declaración de Mercedes y Ginny
as co-guardians
como coguardianes
is necessary
es necesaria
and appropriate
y apropiada
for both the respondent's person
por ambas personas, para el respondiente
and his estate.
y para su situación de estado.
I'm going to
Voy a
ask you, Mr. Garcia, to prepare the order of appointment,
Señor García, prepare la orden de asignación,
including the findings,
incluyendo todos los hallazgos, todos los resúmenes,
which in essence are the
que son
representatives
esencialmente
co-petitioners,
la petición de que sean copeticionarios,
the in-court representation,
la representación en la corte
and communication and observation
y la comunicación y observación
of the respondent
de los respondientes
and the doctor's report.
y el reporte del doctor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then
Sí,
the
señoría.
appointment
Y también la asignación
of the co-guardians to both person and estate.
y la parte de coguardianes para las dos personas y ante el Estado.
Very good, Your Honor. We will do.
Muy bien, señoría, lo haremos.
All right, it was nice to meet you all, and
Un gusto en
I'm
conocerlos
glad
a todos.
that we were able to overcome
Y estoy contenta de que pudimos solucionar
our technical difficulties
nuestras dificultades técnicas
and have this matter fully completed this morning.
y terminar con todo este caso completamente en esta mañana.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, everybody.
Gracias, señoría. Gracias a todo el mundo.
Working together. I really appreciate getting this done.
Aprecio mucho que pudimos hacer todo esto juntos.
It's a team effort.
Es un
Yeah.
equipo.
Okay, and you're going to send that to the attention of Raven, our
Y usted enviar eso
I
a la
wrote it.
atención de Raven, RAVN.
Have a nice day.
Tengan un
Thank
buen
you.
día.
Nice day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Estate of Jason Ross, 16P466.
Yeah.
Good morning. Do we have somebody there? I see it says Julie's phone. But I can't hear you. Hello? So I see a screen that says Julie's iPhone, but I'm unable to hear you. Oh, hello. I can see you now. Still can't hear you. Can't hear you. I see now you're connecting to audio. Let's see if it works. Okay, now you're connected to audio, but you're muted. So if you hover over, or you change, there's a microphone with a red line through it. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Mute.
Oh,
how about now?
We've got sound and picture. So
Oh, wonderful. I'm sorry.
that's right. Hey, we're all struggling through this. Okay, so I know that this matter was continued for an IRS letter, right?
It was. Unfortunately, the executor, who was 36 years old, passed away on January 31st.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
See, now I can't hear you for,
You can't hear me?
the executor passed away. He was 36. His mother's firm is a Robert Robinoff from Chicago. He requested the entire firm, the entire probate file, and I transferred it to him. And I thought he was going to do a substitution, but obviously has not. The IRS letter, we were in the process of getting the IRS letter when Mr. Ross passed away.
Okay. So are you asking for some time for status of attorney?
Yes, I think perhaps 30 days for a status of attorney so he can, I faxed him all of the documentation, but I could tell him, 30 days for a status of attorney.
Okay, so I'm looking at July 14th.
That's fine. At 9 a.m., Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you're going to prepare that court order.
Okay.
And you're going, I'm sorry, hold on. No, I mean, somebody else may be coming in. And you're going to email it to this address, cc201@lakecountyil.gov.
Okay.
And you're going to send it to the attention today of Raven, R-A-V-E-N.
Okay.
And you need to have that in before 3, as soon as possible, but not after 3 p.m.
Perfect. I will send it right now.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Estate of Efrain Perez Traverso, 16P690. Good morning. You're muted. Still muted. So 2 options to unmute. One is, there you go. There you did it. Bravo.
I apologize for the confusion. I'm Terry Davey on behalf of the estate of Ephraim Perez. We are here today. We have to do a presentation of vouchers and to close the estate. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting on a case closed letter from Medicare. It's the sole thing holding up keeping the estate open. There was an issue where they were claiming that we owed them some additional interest on the money that was owed to Medicare. They usually resolve themselves. We just are just waiting for the case closed letter to do vouchers. I think it's only one heir, so everything's been distributed. We just need that to close the estate.
Okay, so how much time do you think you need?
I mean, I'd say at least 6 to 8 weeks because you never know with Medicare.
So let's go out far enough, and then I'm going to ask you to take a look at Administrative Order 2021, which allows for opening and closing estates remotely without the necessity of a court appearance.
That'd be great.
Okay, so Oh, you have two cases. Okay, thank you, Raven.
Is the other one Maryland Hill?
Hold on, I'm looking. So I'm gonna set it for September 14th, which gives you more than enough time.
I think
And
you're
I'm
right.
hoping that you're going to have it closed well in advance of that hearing date.
Me too.
Make sure you look at Administrative Order 20-21 regarding opening and closing remotely, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Today's order you're gonna send, do you have the email address?
I do not.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you.
My assistant might, but it better safe than sorry.
I'm gonna give it to you. It's cc201
Uh-huh.
at lakecountyil.gov. And for today's cases only, it's going to be sent to the attention of Raven, R-A-V-E-N.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that you'll do that as soon as possible, but certainly not later than 3 p.m. today.
Within the next half hour, I'm sure.
Excellent. Okay, now we have another case.
The state of Maryland.
Gladys DeValle, 17P945.
That one.
Is that your case?
No, that's definitely my case. I don't recall. I think that's a case where we're gonna be closing. I don't remember what the holdup is on that.
So I have it noted that it's for presentation of vouchers.
Yeah. It is for sure that, Your Honor. I just didn't, that one has more errors, and I'm just trying to see if there's a holdup. Looks like we do have a case closer. I'm hoping that we could be able to close this. I can't say for certain. So if we could put this for the same date, but I believe that we should be able to have this closed pursuant to order 2021 shortly.
So I'm gonna give you that same date, but don't let it hang around that long.
I for sure, Your Honor.
Okay.
I will get to, yes. So we'll get rid of it. But we did say 9/14. Is that?
We said September
14th.
14th at 9:00 a.m. courtroom 201, but hoping not to see you. Nothing personal.
Nothing personal to you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful day.
You also.
Thank you. Close this. I gotta get this done. Close this.
No other matters.
Fortunately, a lot of people have showed up and trying to contact them. Hey, it's Marianne. I'm calling you on my